All right, we are recording. Yay! Okay, so you should have literally two Mayas up. All right. So this I'm using Miriam's scene. So thank you, Miriam. Oh, it's actually thinking about something right now, so it'll be a hot minute. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna teach you how to with the Kayla and Ricardo rig, all right, how to essentially make a reference using Josh's script. So the character sidekick. So you need to have the character sidekick script up in the file that has your animation in it. Okay. Um, and we're going to use this script to bake the reference, clean it up, and export it. Now, the way this works, so this is really important, and you might want to write what I'm about to say down. Okay. The way this works is when you have this master file open, okay? Because there are two characters in this file, you can only do this process to one character at a time. So what that means is we'll go through the whole process, we will export out the stuff we need for that, and then you'll reopen, you won't do any save, you won't save, you're gonna do any saving, okay? You're just gonna export, you're gonna export FBXs. You're gonna reopen the last animation file and you're gonna do it for the other rig. So we're gonna do it for the first rig once all the way through, okay? And then once we're done, you're gonna check, that's what you need the second Maya for, you're gonna check to make sure the FBX is exported correctly, okay? And if they did, and you got everything you need, then you're going to reopen the animation file without saving. And then we're going to do the same process on the other rig. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. There are two ways to do this. All right. There is the way that Josh is recommending to export it, where you essentially you bake in the animation as well as the rig into one FBX file. Okay. That is the most in terms of Unreal importing, it's the most inefficient way to do it. Traditionally, what you want to do, which is why I asked you guys to not to copy the reference, make changes in that reference, and then save it, but that's okay. Traditionally, what you want to do is you've got your rig and it's scaled the way you want, and it's customized, the Kayla rig's customized, Ricardo's customized the way you want, right? In its own published file, right? So it's ready to go. And then you reference that into your anim scene. You don't customize it in your anim scene, okay? You customize it just like you would a real rig. You would model the rig or the character the way it was, and it would be perfect and completely neutral in its own published file. Does that make sense? Yes? You would then just export the joints and the geo so that so you would bring that into Unreal as what we call a skeletal mesh. Okay? Because the names are exactly the same, you can then literally just select the joints in your animation file once the image bakes to the joints and just export the animation. So if you were to open up the animation FBX for that shot, it would literally just be a skeleton moving in space. There wouldn't be anything else there. Okay? This is the right way to do it, the ideal way to do it when you're working with a system that has multiple shots with the same character. Okay? Because you don't want to bring in the skeletal mesh more than once into Unreal. Make sense? You're like, sure. Whatever you say, Jason. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it this way, not this way first. We're going to do it Josh's easy way, where you select it just so we can get it into Unreal. All right. And then I'm going to walk you through the other way if we have time. Okay. Yep.
Real quick, I'm getting an error when I try and open the sidekick shelf.
What's the error?
It says no module named FAS. Your sidekick.
Okay. 1 second. Does anybody else have that?
I was getting that earlier too.
Okay. So everybody has their file up. Everybody has Sidekick up, right? All right. So what I want you to notice about Sidekick when you have it open is this right here. You should see 1, 2, or 3. You should see 2 or 3 things right here. If you don't, hit this button.
Can you at least put it up on the big screen?
It's not easy. It's a Zoom link, dude. Zoom link is right here in the general chat. It's the latest Zoom. So it's right there. You got it? You got it, Gabe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jerry, you got it? All right. Okay. So you should see this. If you hit refresh, you should see that. And you notice how it's got all this extra long name stuff in here, right? Because it's referenced in. If you go Anim Custom Game, this is the game is the one you want to be in when we're doing export. Okay, so make sure you guys are all in this tab of game. And you should see these options. When you pick one of these, I need to reopen actually. Sorry. When we bake the reference to the scene, that's not going to be slow. When we remove the namespace, it's going to take like 3 or 4 minutes. And you're going to be like, oh, my eye is hanging. Okay, be patient. So you should see here 18 and 19 or something like versions. You have different versions in yours in your outliner. Is that correct, everybody? Because you've referenced in 2 of the same model, or maybe you didn't. Maybe one's Ricardo and one's Kayla. And so it should be Ricardo and Kayla, right? Okay. So pick one of them. What? Oh, yeah. Refresh. And now there we go. Okay. So I'm going to pick 18, which I know is this one. And I'm going to hit this button. Now it's going to drop a warning. Non-uniform scale issues found. Generally, just don't worry about it. Then I'm going to hit bake reference to scene. Now what you should see is over in your outliner, notice how one has a little blue dot and one doesn't. The one that doesn't have a blue dot is now baked into the scene. The reference it's no longer valid, like it's no longer referenced. Okay. And you'll be able to see that, like even if you really want to dig into it, see how it's no longer in the reference editor. Okay. So, but it still looks the same up here. So I hit refresh. I'm like, all right, it's still gonna look the same up here. Then I hit remove namespace. Once you hit this, and then I come over into my window and I just move the camera, hold Alt and just move the camera a little bit. But it's not gonna move. If you hit remove namespace,
If you hit the remove namespace button and you move, the camera shouldn't move. It should take a hot minute. Everybody gets a runtime error? Hit refresh first. Yep.
I bet you can take that long.
Baking shouldn't take that long.
I mean, remove namespaces can take that.
It's taking long on mine. So who's getting errors? Anybody else getting errors? Everybody getting errors? Okay. So reopen the scene file. Yeah, just leave. No, if you're not getting an error, don't reopen the scene file. Reopen the scene file. And let me come look. Don't save. None of this is going to be saved. You're not going to save anything. All right. So the problem was complicated, but generally speaking, it was because we had two other rigs that were in here that were unloaded just by unchecking this and not removed. So like if you had to remove a reference, file remove that way instead of unchecking, which is just going to unload it. The other thing to remember is if you need to manually bake the reference in, you right click on that and you go file import objects from reference and it will manually bake them into the file. Okay? All right. So once you have the file changed, after you click the namespaces, you should see something that says root now. But up here, you'll notice that these two things haven't changed. That's because once you remove the namespace, you have to refresh, and you will now see the shorter version. So Kayla Unlimited, so that's now going to be this one. Once I have that, then I go through and I do this stuff. Okay, so now that this is selected, I go delete unused geo. I go delete unused joints. I go unlock geo. I go select relevant joints in geo. You should see something that looks like this. Now, this matters. How long is your animation? Okay. So however long it is, what it's going to do is it's going to take that animation and it's going to bake it. It's going to put keys on the joints on ones for every key. All right. I don't think I need 317 frames. Is that how long you were making it, Miriam? How long was it supposed to be? Where did you want it to end? At when? Frame 100? But do you need any actual play time after that last pose? So 100 is literally where it's going to stop. All right, just to be safe, I'm going to go to 120. Okay. Once I've got my range set, I then hit bake animation. And now what you should see is keys on every frame. I did not get any errors that I'm worried about. Are you guys able to do this? Okay. Do not click off of it. It should still be selected. Is that correct? Awesome. Then what you're going to do is you're going to hit this green button, which is Launch Game Exporter. When you launch this, make sure that you do the following. Export selection. Turn off input connections. For this version, we're going to select animation. And then I'm going to choose a directory. This directory, inside your scenes folder, I want you to make a directory that is called export to UE. So Unreal, export to Unreal. So just right click in here, new folder, export to Unreal, and then go inside here. Once you get that folder and hit choose. Yeah, unlocked. What's got to be still select? Yeah, it's got to. Do you have it on the right? Should just be.
Yeah, the hit unlock geo. Select relevant geo joins. Bake animation. Now it's going to go all the way to 300. Yep.
Trying to fix this position. Instead of all of this.
Yeah, you can't. You can fix his position before you move it.
No, I did.
Okay.
Fix this position.
All right, now scroll. Scrub in the time slider. Scrub in the time slider. Okay, great.
So then.
Then no, right here, green button. You got it? Hit the game exporter button, the green button, launch game exporter. There you go.
You want to make sure that you have input connections off, animation selected, and then click on to choose pick the folder, make the folder export to UE. Okay. Choose that folder and then name this your character. So this is going to be character blue is what I'm going to call it. All right. What? It's underneath settings. By default, sometimes it's hidden. And make sure you have export selection chosen. Okay. And then once you've got it named, you pick the folder, you hit export. Yeah, for me, I just want to place it. And it's going to go through it. Now, once you have that, go to the other version of Maya. Don't fuck with this one. Go to the other version you have open. Okay. And open that FBX. File, open, navigate to that folder, and open the FBX. And what you should get is something that looks like this. There should be no curves. There should just be the geo, the joints. Yep.
You need to refresh the, or like reopen the file.
You talking about the export one?
The one that we're testing again.
Yeah, you should just be able to open it from there. Oh, the reason it says it's not there is because you're looking for a Maya scene. And you need to look for all files,
Yeah.
FBX, and then you open the FBX, and it is there.
Yeah.
Yep, runtime error, that's the fun one. And that's because you have the wrong one selected. So you baked the keys on the reference. You don't bake the keys on the reference, you bake the keys on this one. So. Did you say that this?
Yeah.
Fix it and save it. All right, fix where he's supposed to be and save it real quick. Save it as version 3 for me, please. Get that with those. Okay. Dun-dun. What the fuck? Okay. Because you didn't name a file. You gotta name, give it a file name. Can't export something that doesn't know what to call it.
Isn't it?
Did you have a?
Call it whatever you want. Character blue is what I called yours. Is it there? Yep. Okay. Everybody else? Who else doesn't have it? Layla, you got it? Logan, you got it?
Is.
Click on it, I've got one.
File open.
It's so small, you have to zoom in.
Yeah.
It's not there, right?
No, it's on.
Do this.
No, but he's imported it. Like it's in.
Go file all files, please. Grab that. Open. Don't say. Close that. Hit F. Yeah, see these? Okay, did you get it saved? All right, everybody come over here. See this? See how it has curves? These fucking curves? That's because sometimes I believe you. I totally believe you. Notice how the curves are selected? Okay. See how the curves are not selected?
So why did it select?
I don't know. You must have had them selected. This is why you check the FBX after you export it. Because you want to make sure that the curve, that it's just the joints and the geo, okay? They're gonna sweet fucking fun.
Yeah, no, my thoughts has been running fast slowly, I believe. I don't know if it just this going. Okay,
It's definitely there.
yeah. It's racist. Lots of cases.
Yeah, it's totally it. It's racist. So if you see those kinds of, you should not have curves in this, right? So then if you reopen it, make sure you're looking for all files. Looks like you were saving your shit all in the wrong.
No. Everything's in the right.
I believe you.
You're in class. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Die. Just die. Now when I reopen it. We're not there. What the motion is. Okay? I did what? Press delete on what?
I use joints.
Probably.
Okay.
I didn't hear. I mean, usually I do. I don't know if Julie did or not. I'm assuming Julie did. But when you open the FBX, it always does that. Just hit close and then hit that. So you can see it. It'll always give you that silly warning, and I don't know what it means, and I don't care because it doesn't affect it. Okay, so then. So. You should have both of these in here, right? Okay, so then what you do is I gotta take that reference to the scene So whichever one I want to do, I usually do the top one first. And that's the one that's giving us the error. And you were able to get a big performance, and you happen to be file. Reference. Reference.
Change more. I'll bet it is.
Then I'm going to remove the namespace. And when it's done it, okay. I'm gonna refresh. Now we're on Ricardo. So I'm selecting Ricardo. Okay. Then I delete unused geo. Okay, and I guess we'll leave that, not worry about it. Delete unused joints. I unlock the geo. Select relevant geo and joints. Okay. And then and this is the duration that the animation is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I bake animation on that. You should have keys on every single one of them. Okay. Then I launch the game. And I do not know what you did. What the fuck? Game Export plugin is not loaded. Why does yours not have the Game Export plugin? Oh my god. Okay. Yep, it's totally not loaded. Okay, that's fun. Is that games loaded? Yeah, okay. Well, I'll explain why I got that error. Did you get this? Here's a special shot for that. Yeah, it's selection. Okay. Animation. Turn that off. Into your project. Make a folder. Okay. Go into that folder, choose it, name it, hit the export button and check it. And then, okay, so we did it with the first one, right? What?
Why something can do? That's like secret.
Secretly? Secret. Only say secret.
So I did.
You'd be okay.
I've got to go all the way through. Export to UV. Should, I know, should be here. Okay, so you know. Oh, that's fucking special. It's because you didn't have animation checked. That's why I didn't export it. Try it again.
All right. See why we're going through this once? This way? All right. So now that you've done this on one of these, what I want you to do now is open up the scene on your original motion. Okay. And now you have to do the other character.
We have to reopen.
You have to reopen the file. Do not save it. And now you have to know what the other one is called, right? So I know this one's 19. So for me, so I'm going to bake the reference to the scene, and it's like, oh, it doesn't want to let me do that. So if it's not going to let me do that, one of the things that I can do is go to the reference editor. Yeah, see, look at this. It's being evil. And um, I can manually import one of them by doing, so I'm going to pick this one, or the way I would check it is I would unload one of them, see which one goes away. Okay, great. And if I know that I am going to be exporting the animation for this one of the things that you can do is just remove this reference. So it just makes things easier. So just remove the reference. You're not saving the file, so it doesn't matter. Then refresh this, and it might work. Nope. So if it doesn't work, then you do this, file, right click, import objects from reference. And I'm going to remove the namespace. What's that? And it's going to take forever. Mm-hmm.
Um, when I go to Game Exporter, the option to the input connections is grayed out.
Because you have export all selected instead of export selected in the upper left-hand corner. If you select export selected, it'll be visible. Oh my God, this is painstaking. So you do what I just did. Did you go up to the file and then you get rid of the other reference? And then you have to like right click on the reference you want to bring in and do file import objects from reference.
Gave me an error for doesn't use Geo.
It did what?
Yeah,
Are you using Ricardo? Okay, was it the browse? Says something's locked, blah, blah, blah. Script editors in the bottom right-hand side. right, here we go. If it gives you an error, honestly, don't worry about it. Just keep moving. Damn it.
Big object.
Stupid curves. Yep. All right. Let me know when you get both characters exported and they're free of curves. No, you would save a new FBX file, right? So you should have inside the export to UE, you should have one character and two characters. So it'd be character blue, character red, or Ricardo 1, Ricardo 2. I don't care what you call them. George, Frank, as long as they're unique as FBXs. Okay. All right. What were you doing? Frozen? Oh, you gotta wait. It takes a hot minute. It's gonna take 3 or 4 minutes. It's really annoying with Kayla. It takes forever.
Yeah, mine did something completely different.
Okay. Then do it again. I'll come over and take a look at it. Okay. So to export the set, again, reopen the scene. I need to import that. I need to bake that reference into the scene. Okay. So I'm just going to go to reference editor. There it is right there. It's called Alley for me. I'm going to right click on it, file, import objects from reference. When I do that, I want you to notice that it keeps the damn file name AlleyPub with the namespaces on it. See that? I don't want that when I export it. So to get rid of it, you got to go to Windows, General Editors, Namespace Editor. Open that up. And you're going to see one that says AlleyPub. I'm going to select AlleyPub. and I'm going to delete it. And it's going to ask you, yeah. I don't know what the difference between these two are, to be honest with you. So I just usually hit that one. And now you'll notice that it's all back to the way it was originally named, assuming it was named correctly to begin with. This will also remove the namespaces from the materials, which is really, really important. Because if we were to export this without doing that, it would have had all of that extra stuff in it, and your materials would have been named really wonkadoodle. Okay? Wonkadoodle. So one more time, just so you guys can see it. La 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 la. Now you can grab, see it's referenced, still referenced. If I look at the names for see these? Alley Pub. See how they're red? That's how you know in the hypershade that they're referenced. Okay. If I right click on this, file, import objects from reference, and now I look at the render editor, see how they're not red anymore, but Kayla's are, right? 'Cause she's still referenced. Yep. You have to, you're going to have to reload that reference and then remove it. So hit the check part when it comes in, remove it, and then go through the process. Yep. Once you have that, go to Window, General Editor, Namespace Editor, right? Click on whatever your name of your file was that was there. Delete it. You'll see merge with root, merge with parent. I don't know what difference it makes. I'm sure there's a reason. I just never bothered to look it up. Okay? Awesome. Now that I have this, oh, that's interesting. Why is that in there twice? It wasn't there before. Whatever, doesn't matter. I'm going to select everything from the set. Okay. Select. File. For this, you can use export selection. What I always do is I hit reset settings because sometimes I turn this stuff off. So that's a safe move. I want to export an FBX. I do not want constraints, expressions, channels, or history because this is just a model. It's just a model. Okay. I do want the texture info. So then I'm going to hit export selected. I'm going to go to export to UE and I'm going to call it set. Yeah. And then I'm going to check it. And it gave it to me. Yay. Okay. Make sense? Okay. Yeah. I picked the one that I wanted to get rid of and I hit delete. For you, yeah. All right. Let me know if everybody gets that. So now that we've done the export, the next step is going to be to set up the Unreal project. All right. So you can close the Mayas for now.